Funtime Friday, my ass, Hoppy. I'm very, very sorry, you guys. I apologize. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I can't control my internet. It locked up everything. I ended up having to restart my computer, and I went ahead and restarted my modem as well while my computer was restarting, so we would have like a refreshed modem, so we would have better internet. Um, again, I'm very, very sorry. I don't know why it did that. It is what it is. Joseph said something though. I went downstairs real quick to just walk off the anger for a second, and he said it seems to be part of a trend. Um, like every Friday, I end up not streaming lately because of internet issues. Um, it be what it be. That's all I can say is it be what it be. Um, Let me go ahead and because I'm not connected on my VPN, so it shouldn't hurt the stream for me to just exit out of it completely. All right, so let me I'm not going to quest anymore. No. I'm not going to do any more questing. But what I am going to do, let me go to my game capture. Put it back on specific vendor. I'm gonna launch the game and just do a little bit of like maintenance while I talk to you guys about a couple of things because there's a couple of there's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about anyway. And I watched a little bit of the playback, and my God, the game sounds so loud, which is weird because in we're gonna move this down to like minus. We're gonna cut that in half basically. And wait, let me see something. If my audio, okay, it's set to default. Okay. I love how lately the game decides how big it wants to display. Are we okay? Are we doing this again? Like what in the world? What are we doing? God in heaven, what are we doing? What is going on here? There we go. Okay, transform. Fit to screen. Alright, I'm also going to go ahead and turn my volume down even more. We're going to turn the dialogue volume down to like 60. I think that's a problem. Didn't I turn my master volume down to 50? Well, you know what? Let's turn it down to 40. How about that? You guys know my audio is always a journey. There's no other way of describing it. Okay. I don't know where my character is, and I don't feel like playing her right now because I'm still a little semi-disgusted. So what I'm gonna do is a little bit of maintenance while I run my mouth for a second. Because I mean, we're close to the end of the stream anyway. We've got like 20 minutes left, so I figured I'd just run my mouth for a second, for a hot second. One of the things that, as you guys know, if you are an MMO player or you just follow people who play MMOs, one of the things that it's important to remember when starting a new MMO is it's not hard to make gold, especially during the very beginning and the very end of an expansion. Let me explain. So, during the end of every expansion, people are doing a couple of different things. The first thing they're doing is they're wrapping up quest lines. They're finishing up their dungeon journal. They're farming content for that last percentage or two of power or chasing ahead of the curve, you know? So that's the time when these bad boys, not just the intellect flasks, but flasks and food buffs, potions, stuff like that, that's when things sell like hotcakes. That's when things are um, going the extra mile to make you some gold. So that's a really good time to be selling stuff. Now, I'm making these for my warband, for like my warband, completely my warband, right? Um, but also during the beginning, the very beginning of an expansion, that's the time to sell pets, mounts, and bags. If you had early access like we did this past time, it's also a good time to sell a bunch of crafting mats for the new expansion, or even the latest crafting mats for the latest expansion that we just ended, because people will still be using the potions and food buffs for their leveling experience. The way I do this is I craft a bunch of food buffs and potions. Um, Throw them all in my used to be banker tune banks, but now I can throw them in my war bank. Um, and then each time I take another one of my fresh 70s through the leveling process, I hit my war bank. I grab a stack of food, a stack of flasks, and a stack of the little crystals that throw on a buff. And if I have any, the Dark Moon Fire Water as well. Now, Dark Moon Fire Water is good for something that a lot of people know, but some people don't. The Dark Moon Fire Water, it does make your character bigger. That's just a side effect. The Dark Moon Fire Water stacks right along with the other potions and stuff. It doesn't overwrite them. It isn't overwritten. It stacks alongside of it, and all it does is it speeds up your harvesting. Like if you're mining ore or collecting herbs, or skinning even, you harvest a little bit faster. Now, the thing is, I think it only works for like 20 minutes. So it helps to have a stack of them, like a stack. Um, and there was something else. Um, Now this particular character has jewel crafting. Okay, so I believe potion makers like alchemists. I don't know if it's transmutation master or potion master, whatever it is. One of them, I believe, whatever potion you take, it extends the duration like X amount of time, like doubles the amount of time. So I think one of those, like if you're using the Dark Moon Fire Water, it extends it from like 20 minutes to 40 minutes, which is very handy doodle dandy, right? Um, if you are planning on making a character who is just a gathering tune, not a profession tune, but a gathering tune, like you would throw, thanks for walking away from me, bitch. You would throw, bitch, can you, she don't want to help me. Bitch. First of all, I gotta zoom in a little bit so I can see her. She's rude, Mary Curie. What I was gonna say is, um, I would say if you're going to make a gathering tune, one that has like two gathering professions instead of a gathering and crafting profession, get one that is a a an herbalist and a miner. Also, make them a Pandaren. I'll tell you why. Pandarens get twice the amount of buff from a food buff, meaning it extends the duration, not like the actual effect. So if it gives you like this one here says you'll gain 10 in a stat for 1 hour. If you're playing a Pandaren, you'll get 10 in a stat for 2 hours, right? So oh, that was it for that. And I don't need any of these stamina flasks. I need strength flasks. I need Gorgrund fly traps. All right, we're gonna go to our warband, and we're gonna go to buffs, and we're gonna throw in a few things. Alright, that's stamina, but I'm not worried about stamina. We'll move that there. And we'll move that there. Actually, let's move that up. I have a way of like organizing my stuff. I know that sounds a little crazy. Now, this particular was it that? No, it's this one. This one here I'm gonna send to Khaleesi, and I'll tell you why in a second. Just seeing what else I've got that. Oh, this relic of Rookmar needs to go. Is that what that is? Yes. This can go in here. That can go in here. Okay. I'm sending these potions to Khaleesi for two reasons. One, the water walking, I want to see what they'll sell for. But the intellect potion, I have a piece of gear I'm gonna try and see if I can make. Whether or not it actually works, we'll see in a minute. Sometimes, oh, that's from Starbucks. I thought I had more. I thought I had more auction house mail. I was excited. Now sometimes what I'll do is, like stream days, I'll stream my character, play it, level it, whatever. But on days when I'm not streaming, sometimes all I do is farm mats at my garrisons, and then make a bunch of stuff and then sell it. Now, let me just say this. Blizzard have done their best to... Wait, that's not where I meant to go. I need to go to my garrison. Blizzard have done their absolute best to get people away from their garrisons, right? They don't particularly want you going, not just garrisons, but really old content. They don't make a lot of effort to bring you back into old content for two reasons. One, they want you to have higher metrics in newer content, first of all. And second of all, a lot of players aren't interested in revisiting old content because they've already done it, they've already seen it, they've already played it, they've already quested, they've already beaten it, you know? Me, on the other hand, I like it because it's a good place to farm mats and make a little bit of gold. I'll explain why. I'll show you guys a really good setup. That it works for me. It works for a lot of people, actually. I learned this from other people, but I'll show you guys a good setup for a little bit of gold farming. And now it's not like an inordinate amount of gold. It's not like something that's going to make or break you as a player. I'm just seeing what else I have that's 100%. I still do my garrison missions. Now I'm using an add-on, and I'll show you which one it is. I'm using an add-on called Master Plan. It comes with Master Plan and Master Plan A. You don't have to. I'm almost 1,000% positive you don't have to download two add-ons. They just install as an add-on and a dependency. But I'm gonna show you guys what you guys need to make a little bit of gold for your toon if you're not actively playing through Warlords of Draenor. Now, here's the thing, you guys. When you have not even played through Warlords of Draenor, but you have a max level toon, I believe if you go to Draenor, you'll automatically have a level 3 garrison with like some, I don't know if your support buildings will be there, but I believe your town hall will be a level 3. It would behoove you to go ahead and open up your buildings or build buildings in your garrison. First of all, now, okay, let me just say this. Let me backtrack for a second. Let me just say this. It would behoove you to do this if you play the game more as a solo player, which that seems to be what Blizzard, I almost said Bethesda. That seems to be what Blizzard is not necessarily taking the game to, but supporting the game at, right? I don't don't need that on my bar. What is that? Bell domination. Oh, okay, cool. That needs to be right there, like that. Anyway, if you're playing through Warlords of Draenor, I'll show you the buildings that you really need. We'll start off with the large buildings. It would behoove you to have the barracks, the trading, no, that's a medium, I'm sorry. The barracks and the dwarven bunker. The dwarven bunker is good for making upgrade gear for all of your followers, right? And the barracks is good for two things. And always upgrade it to level 3. The first one being is you can it'll allow you to have 5 extra followers if you have your barracks to level 3. And then you can also assign someone, which he's on a mission right now, but you can assign someone as a bodyguard to accompany you out into the world. Now, depending on who you put as your bodyguard, that can really help you or kind of hinder you a little bit. On this particular tune, I'm on Khaleesi, so I would definitely go out with a bodyguard if I could, because I'm a cloth wearer. And that's just extra DPS. Now, I just noticed that my minion's name is Choham. I don't like that. I don't like that. Now, as far as medium buildings, you want the Lunarfall Inn, because that's where you will be recruiting new followers. And I would absolutely suggest getting it to level 3, because once you get it to level 3, you can also not only recruit new followers, but you can pick what their trait is. And the two traits that you want the most are Grease Monkey and Extreme Scavenger. Extreme Scavenger and Grease Monkey are the two that you want as your traits. It doesn't matter. Now, if you're trying to recruit a specific character who has like the mining trait or the herb trait or whatever, that's fine too. But those two there will help you farm oil and resources. And that's so yeah, the Lunarfall Inn and the trading post are the two things that you want for your medium-sized plots. The trading post, it's self-explanatory. Now, my trading post is at level 3, but I haven't unlocked the auctioneer. I have the auctioneer on one tune, and it's funny because that tune is not at any, it's not at my garrison at all, ever. So stupid. And then for your small buildings, super easy. Now, small buildings, it's kind of a whatever you feel like it, but I would say the two things that you want the most, more than any other small building, is the storehouse, which is your bank. It starts off as just a bank, and then you can add a guild bank to it, and then you can also, at level 3, you can add your void storage and transmog. And then the salvage yard. These two, the bank, the storehouse, and the salvage yard are the two that will help you the most and give you the most utility and bang for your buck, basically. Now, the last building, it's one of those that if you're leveling, I would say pick the building that matches the profession you're playing, right? Now, I have a tailoring one, but I'm probably going to change it soon because I have finally, just today before I started streaming, unlocked every single Draenor recipe. Now, there were a few that got taken out of the game not too long ago, but I have unlocked, there was three recipes that I didn't have, and I unlocked those today. So I have every recipe. So I don't necessarily need the tailoring building as my other small plot. I actually have someone they're working right now. When you have a worker that has that specific, now here, okay, so just out of curiosity, let's take him off, let's remove him real quick. He's no longer working at my tailoring emporium. My Emporium's still there. It's still level 3. I just don't have a worker. Now, if you click on it and you have multiple tailors, you can pick from a list, right? And it will only populate the people with the tailoring trait. Now, Pleasure bought 8,000, which is disgusting. I'm sorry, that's gross. I hate that name. She's on a mission, so Telmakrim Storm Vigil is the only one right now that I can put there. It doesn't cost anything to apply them to the building. It doesn't cost anything to take them from the building, right? So at my tailoring emporium, I have Telmakrim. At my herb garden, I have Fiona. At my fishing shack, I have Nat Pagel. That's a good one because not only does he give you quests, but you also can work on getting your reputation up with him. You don't have to go all the way back to Miss Pandaria. You can do it in Warlords. You can get your XP, or I'm sorry, not your XP, your reputation up with him, and you get cool little prizes and stuff. And then at my excavation, I don't have anyone with the following trait. I don't have anyone. It doesn't matter. Oh, also, if you have someone assigned as a follower for your excavation site, they walk around in the mine, right? You can click on them and say, hey, I need you to follow me around. And while you're in your garrison, your whole garrison, he'll follow you around as a follower as well. Now I haven't unlocked my pet menagerie. Maybe we should do that. Maybe we should. Now, I'm not great at pet battling. I'm not great at pet battling at all. I'm not good at it. I don't have a feel for it. I've never enjoyed it. It's not my thing. But I think, just for the sake of demonstration, let's go ahead and unlock it. Pets versus pests. Now, I would recommend at least unlocking the pet menagerie to level 1 because you maybe it's level 2, but it's either level 1 or level 2. You have to defeat 3 pests in your garrison, and they are in 3 different locations, basically in your garrison. And I'm trying to remember where they are. Put the artifact on display. Oh, I've got an artifact to display. Let's do that real quick. There it is right there. Alright, so now we're going to go kill Caritas, Maximus, Gorfu, and Nullface. Okay. So, before we do that, we need to make sure that our pet journal is populated with, level 1 and level 1. We need to change that real quick. Let's put, just for funsies, the Ancient Nest Guardian. And let's put the Blazing Firehawk. Okay. So now we have 3 level 25 pets. Ooh, I thought I was on my flying mount. My bad. Alright, let's go find the first battle. And he will be right here in the middle of the garden. I mean, he's a carrot, for God's sake. That lasts for 5 rounds. Oh, reduces up to 70 damage. Okay. What's this one? Slams? Okay, we'll do that one. I haven't pet battled. Wow, that's a lot of damage. I haven't pet battled very much. So, like, I really don't know what does what. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you can't capture these particular enemies. Yeah, we killed that one. And they're single enemy battles, if I'm not mistaken. They are single enemy battles. Hold on. That's not what I meant to do. Let's revive battle pets. Actually, let's do that. Alright, the next battle is right over here, and it's Gnawface. Ooh, no, no, no. We don't like Gnawface. Okay, so this particular critter does not do much damage against him. We may have to switch. What if I turn this into a pet battle channel? Like a World of Warcraft pet battle channel. Okay, we're in trouble. We're gonna swap. We're gonna switch pets. We're gonna go to the Ancient Nest Guardian. Damn. That was hateful. 442 to 450. Yeah, let's do that one. Bitch. Gnawface is an asshole. Wearer takes damage if they were a flying, as if they were a flying pet. Okay. I missed. Okay, I'm gonna have to shield up then. This rat is hateful. I don't like it. Ugh! This is okay. This is a problem. Okay, we got him. We got him. But just barely. Okay. Jeez Louise. Okay, so the last battle is Gorfu. Okay. Wait, where's Gorfu? Oh, he's over here. That's Gorfu. Gorfu is... What is Gorfu? Gorfu... Oh, it's a tanky tank. Okay. So we need to... Okay, we need to rethink our strategy. Okay. Let's put the Blazehound in there. The Anubisath Idol. And the Alliance Enthusiast, maybe? Guardian. I'm trying to see which one of my pets has like a lot of health, really. 1587. All right, let's do that. All right, let's see what happens. Let's see how she flies. Just once. Just once. I want to go first. That was not a lot of damage. Okay, what? Wait, what is this? 301? Oh shit, this is not good. Gorfu's gonna kick my ass. What's weird is like, I seem to recall, okay, that was actually not bad. Oh shit. I seem to recall, wait, how many, I only hit one ability, oh, weird. What is going on? We're gonna switch real quick. We're gonna switch to the Anubisath Idol or the Alliance. Yeah, this one has a lot more health. We got this now. Bitch, stop hitting me. I don't like it. I don't like it. Okay, well, we killed him. So there's that. Okay. I thought, maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe it was when you originally unlock the mine. In this mine cart, you find a battle pet stone. I think that's what it was. Alright, let's go turn this in. Now, once you unlock the pet menagerie, you will, get, like, dailies. And you get, like I said, you get dailies. You get the Warlord's Weekly, and then you get the daily. The daily is, it's not worth it. frog or turtle. Actually, the channel's frog and turtle. You can call me either Boomer or Danny. I've been Boomer for years and years and years. And other people call me Danny. Either one's fine. D-A-N-I, not D-A-N-N-Y. Or just Boomer. It doesn't matter. Now, anytime I mention that, someone invariably always goes, okay, Boomer, which is funny because I'm not a Boomer. I'm Gen X, if I'm not mistaken. Every time I start talking about that, I'm like negative. I'm a meat popsicle. That's from The Fifth Element, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. All right, so I need to drop this off. This. Well, the reason why I like it is it's based off a character from Battlestar Galactica. Boomer was one of my favorite characters from the 2000s remake of Battlestar Galactica, played by Grace Park. I think that's who it was who played her, Grace Park. I just loved her character. She also played Athena, which is funny because I have a Boomer on World of Warcraft and I have an Athena. I'm just gonna sell that. Can I use that? I cannot. All right, so we're gonna see what it takes to make. Okay, I've got the. Okay, so I wanted to make. I made the robe. There it is. Granic and I need 46 more hex weave cloth. So we can't make it yet. Actually, you know what? I think I have some of those little tailoring things in my bank. Yeah, I'm 44. I just turned 44. Yeah, I've got some tailoring emporium work orders here. Let's see if we can't rush some stuff and make ourselves some gear. Well, there's the cloth we needed already. Now this is Telmachrim right here. The only thing that having someone here now is good for are these battle standards, and those are handy only for when you're leveling a character. That's it. Now that we're no longer leveling a character in this expansion, it doesn't really pay to have the tailoring emporium here other than to farm cloth. So that's why I'm keeping it. All right, let's go back to, okay, so now we can make the cloak. So what I do is I would make it level 350 and add the, well, I don't think I need the remarkable hexweave essence, but this is going to have a decent amount of stats. That's with this particular reach. If I take it back off, it's only level 44, and you can wear it at level 35. I don't look 44. I feel it. The migraine I have today is ridiculous. I actually haven't collected the appearance for these things, but that being said, I don't know if I want to collect the appearance. I mean, they're gorgeous. I mean, that's a really pretty color right there. I really like that. I just don't know if I want to collect it or if I want to sell it. But yeah, that's what those potions I made on Starbuck are for. Yeah, I have characters named Starbuck, Boomer, Athena. I had an Apollo, but I just didn't like the character itself, like the tune I didn't like, so I ended up. Oh, what's up, Thunder? Oh my god, I'm so glad you guys came back after my crash a little while ago. I was so pissed, but I was like, you know what? Normally when everything crashes like it did earlier, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna I'm gonna turn that off. That's killing my eye right now. I'm normally I would just be like, you know, that's the end of the stream, but I was like, you know what? No, Starbuck right there, and then there's one of my boomers. I have several. This is my first boomer I ever made, by the way. I have a lot of characters based off pop culture stuff, like I have Starbuck, I have Khaleesi, I have Sylvanas, I have Odin, Boomer, Belgarath, in case you haven't read the Belgariad, that's one of the main characters. Von Queequeg, from Mad TV. I got another Boomer here. I've got a Trixie based on Trixie Mattel. I have a Samwise. And I have a Ghoul instead of Gul'dan, it's Ghoul. And then here's my Athena. I have a lot of characters. I believe it or not, I used to have like probably about 5 times the amount of characters. I was very close to hitting the cap on 2 accounts, but I actually went ahead and deleted a lot of tunes that A, I didn't play, and B, were just, I had multiples of literally the same character. I had, I know for a fact with Boomer, like I have a Boomer who is a Warlock. Where's he at? Right here. But I also have a Boomer on, and he's Alliance, and then I have a Boomer on Horde side who is a Paladin. But I have like 4 or 5 Boomers. I had several. I say several. I had probably about 10 Warlocks. And what's bad is they were all the same spec because there are specific specs that I really like. That I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna make another tune and just play them again. And one day I was just like, this is a sickness. I really got to, and it got to the point where I wasn't having fun because I was juggling so many characters that it was stressful. It was very stressful. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to cut back a lot. Now, my main character here, I'm in Dornegal. I was in the last zone, but I'm in Dornegal right now because I'm cleaning up my bag or something. I don't remember what I was doing, honestly. But I'm going to show you guys my main character. You guys haven't seen her for a week or 2. She my baby. She my favorite. Yeah, my baby daddy. No, she is level 80, and her eye level right now is 553. It is so, I'm not joking, guys. I know I talk about it, but it is so easy now to level your characters and to gear them up. Like, it's almost insulting, like, how quickly you're changing out your gear. It's almost insulting. But not quite. I'm sending all of this to Khaleesi. Having 3 characters on Destiny is a struggle. Okay, Manini, how are things in Destiny? Because from what I've seen, and I haven't, I'll pick up Destiny like once every other year for like a day or 2. That's how often I play it. But from what I understand, it's not great right now. And I don't mean to like disparage. I'm asking yeah. I know it's bad. That game went from recovering from Lance Reddick's death. I mean, it was recovering. That was such a shock to everyone. I thought the man was an amazing actor. And it went from recovering from that and succeeding to what, literally just like, 6 months later to what it is now. Now, I don't know how the community and the player base is in Destiny 2 because, like I said, I don't play it enough to know. But from what I've seen, a lot of it seems to be from not even developer side, but corporate side. Like the higher ups seem to be the problem. It seems almost like intentional. Am I right or wrong? I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it seems like almost like what happened was intentional. Okay. So, I'm going to show you guys something really stupid but funny. I'm going to show you guys something really stupid but funny. I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you guys the easiest, I'm not joking. This is going, oh god, this is so stupid. This is the easiest achievement to get in the expansion right now. Where's the door? Okay, here it is. Here's the door. They're kicking people out to either scrub the game or it does. It feels like, if I don't know if I'm just spitballing. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I don't know anything about Bungie. Like, Bungie had their head in the game when they left Activision. Who knew? Okay, that was the rhetoric that we were being fed, right? It seemed like, okay, see the skeleton right here? This is the easiest achievement to get. Literally, hop in there and let that thing smash you. I forget the name of it. I don't think it'll even pop up because I've already gotten it on this character. I already got it on this character. But what is this? Omens Unified. Oh, okay. If you let it kill you, that's an achievement, and then you just fly back and res. But I mean, like, it's the easiest achievement in this entire expansion, in my opinion. But anyway, we are going to talk about it for a second. I don't know if like someone who was like one of the higher ups who left, or several of the higher ups, had a meeting with corporate and might have said something that they shouldn't have said and pissed off the wrong person. But it feels like an ultimatum was given that the core group were like, we can't get on board with this. This is either unethical, immoral, or just bad business. And so, and the problem with, the problem with a company versus a dev is the dev loves games. Company loves money. And the two don't normally coincide very well unless the company is led by the devs making the game. Now, we're seeing a late in life resurgence in World of Warcraft due to what everyone's calling the Metzen effect. Metzen, I believe, is the only original creator of Warcraft on board right now. That being said, it's also being helmed by what I call the Holy Trinity, which is Chris Metzen, Ian Hazacostas, and Holly Longdale. Holly Longdale is like corporate, but she loves the game itself. Like, she's actually a fan of the game. And it also helps that we have a lot of new devs who grew up playing the game and so are very passionate about it, you know? But what we're seeing with Bungie is, like, the rhetoric was always, Activision is crap. Activision is a bad company to merge with or be bought out by. All they worry about is money, 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 right? Activision owns Blizzard. It's Activision Blizzard now. Like, they own Blizzard, and while there is an item shop, you can go to it from the main menu or from in-game. There is an item shop. It is strictly cosmetic items. There are some services, like guild services, name change, race change, stuff like that. Wow, a name change is only $7. FYI, I got a couple of characters I might be changing names on soon. You can get 3 of them for $14. That's not bad. What about, wait. What about double boost? I'm not buying any. I'm just curious. 2 level 70 boosts is $100. Character transfer, which I thought character transfers got taken out now that all realms are basically connected into one major. Okay, faction change. That's still a little pricey. Race change. Okay, FYI, a race change can be a faction change, right? If you're just changing from like Draenei to Gnome, that's one thing. But if you're changing from like Worgen to Troll, that's a faction change. How much is a faction change? So sometimes it's cheaper to do the race change. Think about that. So anyway, what I was gonna say is, we don't know anything behind closed doors. However, laying off all the key players for the game, the composer, key designers, it felt like we're clearing out the people who made Destiny, so Sony can't have. That's true. That being said, who knew that when Bungie got away from Activision, that they were actually going to be worse when it came to the money grubbiness? Like, believe it or not, it's worse now than it was when they were being told what to do by Activision. We were always fed the rhetoric that Activision is a shit company, corporation, and that they have bad business practices and they don't worry about anything but the almighty dollar, which is true. That is completely true. That is, I mean, it's obviously true. That being said, Bungie's gotten worse, in my opinion. And let me just say this. my fantasy scenario when it comes to gaming is like someone who's like Jeff Bezos or Bill Gates or Elon Musk, even, although we hate Elon Musk. We're not a fan of Jeff Bezos either, for that matter, or Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or any of those like super like 1% of the population on the planet. I would love for one of them to sit down and play a video game and get so enamored with it that they're like, you know what? I'm gonna throw like $1 billion at that company and just be like, look, make the game. Just make the game. Don't worry about your parent company. Don't worry about your investors. You've got the money, do whatever you want. Make it good. I would love something like that. Um, Rumor that they took on too many projects doesn't fly. I agree. Now, here's where Microsoft acquiring so many different gaming companies is a double-edged sword, right? On the one hand, it's it's a bigger cushion of money to throw at a game, right? It's more it's more investment and capital to fix things or make new things or implement new things and to add value to the game for what the consumer's paying for, right? That being said, um, it's very easy and quite common, and you guys have seen this. I just remembered on Aurora, I've got a talent point I need to pay. It's very easy and very common for a huge parent company to whittle the wheat from the chaff. You know what I'm saying? And then whoever's remaining to throw way too much work onto, and then the game suffers because of it. And there's employee and company burnout, and there's revolts, and then there's layoffs, and then there's unions who come in, and ultimately the people who suffer the most are the people who have been supporting the game since day one, the player, and the people who have been making the game and rely on it as the bread and butter. Like at the end of the day, if a game like WoW or Destiny fails and closes up shop, there's a million other games out there for me to play. I'm still able to pay my bills. But the people who make this game and are passionate about it, they rely on my money to pay their bills. You know? And if they get laid off, or if they get fired, or if they choose to quit, or the company shuts down, whatever shutters its doors, or they get put into a position where it's less money, they're the ones who really suffer the most. Devs are literally, you have to love what you do in to take on a job that may or may not be there in a year, and you never have real financial security because it can all turn on a dime. Your company could be at the very top of the list. Like, look at Bethesda. They were the gold standard of gaming, and with one release, which was Fallout 76, they destroyed 30 years of pedigree, basically. And they've spent the last, 5 years recovering from that. And then Starfield came out, and Starfield was a great game. It still is a great game, but it's very like, it does start to feel grindy, samey, copy pasty sometimes. Getting worse with error codes and bugs. Yeah, because they don't have enough QA people working, and they don't have enough devs working on the game anymore. They don't have people who are passionate about the game anymore. And it makes me sad because while I'm not a Destiny player, I understand that people are just as passionate about Destiny as I am about WoW, or Shop Titans or Fallout even. Like, even though I willingly and freely admit that there are lots of problems with the creation engine, and I wish Bethesda would upgrade to something like Unity or Unreal or something, I'll still buy their games. I'll still play their games. I might bitch sometimes when it crashes, but I still love the games. And the players are not getting love, so I'm getting frustrated. Instead of ranting about it, getting upset, I just log off and go do something else. Do I ever play Halo? Okay, no, and for two reasons. A, other than like Fallout, I don't like shooters. and B, it's with other people, and you know how I am about playing with other people. I'm not a fan of other people. And you know, I'm a social person. I'm what I call a social introvert, meaning I like to talk to people. I like to be in guilds. I like to have conversations and dialogue, but I don't like playing with other people. I have, let me show you. Let me show you. I have this macro. Look at this. No, thank you. Anytime I'm out in the game world, and I have this on all my characters, anytime I'm out in the game world, just doing my own thing, off in a corner on my own, and someone decides to run up and help me, I immediately click that and give them the opportunity. Sometimes I have to do it a couple of times before they get the message, and then other times they don't get the message, and I have to whisper and be like, look, I understand you think you're being helpful, but all you're doing is ruining my game experience. Oh, let me pick my talent. Enemies marked by your Havoc. I don't use Havoc, so I'm not worried about that. Demonic Art increases the damage of your next Chaos Bolt, Rain of Fire, or Shadow Burn by 100%. Reduces the cast of, that's a good one. Enemies damaged by your Overlord have their souls cloven, increasing damage. Okay, we're gonna pick this one. I mean, eventually we will pick some other ones that we normally wouldn't pick, but still. This is where, okay, so the game, everything crashed off camera basically. I'm not gonna keep questing, but this is where we're going. Everything else is in town with the exception of this one. This is a quest for Monday. It's kind of a sadder quest line. It's gonna start off very normal and samey like everything else. The end of that quest chain is very sad for me, and it's very sad for a lot of people who have done it. There are whole groups of people who have dialogue in my guild right now who are like the caretaker quest. It's so awful. Not in a scary or it's just sad. It's so sad for a lot of people, and I talk about this a lot. Yeah. I knew about the servers. Um I talk about this at least once a week now, it seems like, but I don't care if you have like, oh my god, that's so great, or I'm so pissed about that quest. Like, as long as you have a reaction to questing. A lot of the times, when you're playing any kind of game, it doesn't matter if it's a single player or a multiplayer, a lot of the times people don't even read the quest dialogue anymore. They just auto accept and go do whatever it tells you to do. Um, but a live service game like World of Warcraft, for instance, they have a lot more cutscenes, a lot more like RP dialogue and whatnot. So, what am I doing? Game capture. I'm gonna switch it back to auto so you guys can. So it kind of fixes my lighting a little bit. I don't know why that though. All right, let's hit to screen. Anyway, as long as you have a reaction, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk about this a lot, but I don't skip cutscenes, and I don't skip a lot of the dialogue when I'm not streaming. I don't skip ahead. I do sometimes while I'm streaming for the sake of time, you know, because I'm trying to do better about getting more content per stream, so it's more value for you guys to watch. That being said, there are times when like well, not a lot of the times. I'd say about a third of the time, it's not really worth it to read the quest dialogue. It just auto accept and go kill the 8 boggarts or whatever the hell it is, you know. Um, but anytime you have a quest that has like a decision, you know, like Bethesda does this with a lot of their games nowadays, to where like you don't get like a good ending or a bad ending or a blah ending. Sometimes you get 2 good endings, or you get 2 blah endings, or 2 bad endings. You know, sometimes quest chains will rely on you to make decisions in other quests that really shouldn't have much of an impact on this quest. And like, say for instance, I am playing Skyrim, right? And I power through the main storyline, and I get XYZ as 3 different types of dialogue options. Whereas if I do a bunch of side quest stuff, and like for instance, I do a quest that gives me like Dawnbreaker. I could go back to the main quest and have dialogue with a quest in the main quest, and they'll see I have Dawnbreaker equipped, and I'll get like a new piece of dialogue. I like quests like that. I like the game to give you more options than what you think there are. You know, and Blizzard is starting to do that also with the quests. It's not super often, but there are certain quests that, like, rather than just and not just feeding the story, but also like they're making it class dependent. Like, there are some quests that now, instead of just go kill this, loot this, and turn this quest in, sometimes it'll give you either an extra bit of dialogue or a new way of completing a quest depending on what class you are. Not spec necessarily, but like, for instance, if you're a rogue, there's a couple of quests in the game that, like, instead of just talking to this person, killing this thing, and then turning it in, if you're a rogue, you can pick a lock or sneak past something that normally you would have to kill. I like that. Also, same thing for warlocks. Warlocks have a few that are class specific. Warriors have a few. I would say that one of the things that made Legion one of the most beloved expansions was the class identity. Spec identity might have took it a little too far in some instances, but I liked the spec identity as well. I liked the artifact weapons per spec. Each spec had its own artifact weapon. I liked that. I loved the campaigns. Pretty much every class, I loved all of that. The only thing that I complain about with Legion is, and this is true for every expansion, is when expansions became evergreen via time walking, time walking leveling, you still out level the expansion before you're done with it. So, trying to talk to people into raids in Destiny, that certain things has to be class specific. This is where that rant was going. So I think I talked about this once or twice before, but I want class specific options in raids in WoW. Like, say for instance, you go into a dungeon or raid, right? And I think actually it's always rogues, but I would like for, like, say for instance you're playing a demonology warlock, right? And your main class fantasy, or spec fantasy, excuse me, for a demonology warlock is you're able to summon so many minions, right? So many minions. Like, say for instance, you go into a dungeon as a demonology warlock, and you were able to use your what's the portal thing? You click on it, it shoots you across the room to the other portal. Say you were able to use that to portal yourself and all of your minions onto a platform that's hanging by a rope. And once you get enough weight on it, like with several warlocks who are able to do that, it snaps the rope and brings the platform down, and it summons a boss that only demonology warlocks would be able to do that with. Or, for instance, like, there's a specific wing of a dungeon or raid that only rogues can unlock. Mages can blink, so why not make a wing that only mages can get into and unlock from the other side, and then the whole raid party can go in? I would love something like that, where I would love, and I've thought about this before, I don't play a rogue very much, but I would love a rogue specific dungeon delve scenario or raid where the whole thing is a giant clockwork dungeon, meaning every time you defeat a boss or a specific mechanic, the entire thing revolves and connects to another piece, and then another piece, and then another piece, and another piece. And once you get it all basically connected in the right combination, it unlocks like a hidden or final boss. I would love something like that. I would love something that had class specific mechanics in raids. Not just something that, like, okay, warlocks can bring down a soul well, and everyone gets a soul stone. Or mages can throw out a buffet table and everyone gets like a food buff. Or even rogues for that matter can throw down like a mass stealth. I would love those things to still work, but I would love a raid or a dungeon for group content that incorporated some kind of class specific mechanic that would unlock a really cool something that only those, if you don't have anyone in your party with of that class, it's kind of shunted off from you. I would love something like that. Blizzard, get on this. This is the only thing missing. It's the only thing missing. You've added so much solo content now that's progressively on par with more, progressive multiplayers. Let's do something like that. Let's add something like that. Something really cool that, ooh, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. I would probably, I would probably start maining a rogue just for that reason. That would be so cool. Oh my god, that would be so cool. Shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Only one specific. Well,
Fang 9299 played Shame for 0 bits.
If you're a newer player to World of Warcraft, that would be the argument. But people who, like myself, who've been playing since day one, we've played pretty much every class. The only class that I haven't played right now is Evoker. It's new, and I'm not a big fan of agility classes. I don't know why. Like, hunters are fun. Feral druids are fun. But monks, not shamans, I'm sorry. Not monk, I hate the fact that I want to play WoW, but I don't want to at the same. I think part of the problem is WoW's been around so long that there's just so much to do that it becomes daunting, and then like you'll be at work and you'll be like, oh, I want to play some WoW, I want to do this, I want to do that, and then when you get home and you're like, oh god, I forgot, like it's so much. It can become daunting. God, it's really time to dye my hair. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted, but god, leave my hair. You can really see the gray in it, can't you? But yeah, it can be daunting. That's why I was literally just watching a TikTok from that Carnage put out, where he was he was taking questions from the audience, if I'm not mistaken, and they were like, "Do you ever get bored with gaming?" And his response is kind of like mine as well. No, I never get bored with gaming. There are games that I get bored of sometimes, but and part of that is my ADHD, and part of it is also when you start adding more and more stuff to a game, it turns into like static or white noise, and then you can't really see the fun bits for all the bits, and then you're like, well, there's nothing to do, even though there's so much to do. Make a tune, then I see another tune, I'm like, oh, that looks cool, then you start over. It's a never-ending cycle. Okay, yeah, I ran into this problem back in Burning Crusade and Lich King days. Okay, so back in Burning Crusade, I made my first warlock. I didn't play a warlock in vanilla. I played warrior, my main tune that I showed you guys earlier. Need to find the hours I have on my hunter in Destiny versus warlock and titan. I didn't touch the warlock and titan until the season before last, and I've been playing for a long time. If it works for you, it works for you. But I picked up a warlock, my first ever boomer, actually. I tried playing, and it was vastly different than it is now. I think I missed either the second or third iteration of warlocks, specifically demo locks. But I picked up warlocks, and I really hated Afflic back then because it felt like every battle was 5 minutes long. Every mob took 5 minutes to kill because it was mostly curses and life drain. And then just Destro felt like a cross between Demo and Afflic, and I didn't translate well. I didn't like it. And then Demo was so involved with pulling all these minions, calling all these minions out. And back then we had the old talent trees, so hybridizing your character was a big thing back then. And it was overly complicated. And that's why Blizzard went to the cookie cutter set of talents. They're like, oh, we're trying to give you, we don't want any of your characters to be very like. What was their You were trying to say that with the original talent trees, everyone followed the same specific set of talents. That was wrong. People hated the new talent system. And they're glad that we have kind of like the newest iteration of it. The new talent system is so much better. But yeah, I bounced right back off of Warlock. I couldn't get it. It was too complicated. I'd come from playing a Warrior, which was really spamming like 4 or 5 abilities. You build up some rage, and then you spend it for big damage. Whereas back then, Warlocks were a lot more involved, and I just couldn't get a feel for it. I didn't like it at all. And then in Lich King, at the very tail end of Lich King, going into Kata, I was like, you know what? I'm ready for something a little bit more complex. It's almost not fun to play my Warrior right now, so let me try something a little bit more challenging. And I was playing a lot more video games back then as well. I wasn't just playing WoW. Okay, this is so embarrassing, but back then I was playing Wizard 101. I was playing Runes of Magic. I was playing Dungeons and Dragons online, and I was also playing Lord of the Rings online and Star Trek online. Was I playing Star Trek Online? I may not have been playing Star Trek Online, but I was playing all those others, and I had picked up 1 or 2 Facebook games back in the day. There was this Mafia game that I was kicking ass in. But yeah, oh no, it wasn't Facebook, it was MySpace. That's what it was. Anyway, I was playing those games, and I was like, I'm ready for a challenge, because those were all kind of dumber, easy games, you know? And so I picked, and Allods Online. I don't know if you guys remember Allods Online. I was playing Allods Online. That was another big, WoW clone. All those games back then, like Wizard 101, Allods Online, Runes of Magic, those 3 there were such WoW clones. It's such rip-offs of WoW. It was embarrassing, but they were fun. Now Lord of the Rings Online, that was a whole other kettle of fish. It still is. That's a game that needs a full, like, shut it down, rebuild it, and relaunch it. That needs a relaunch. Go get your daughter. Have fun. Have fun. Have fun. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on Monday. But yeah, I picked up Warlock in the end of Lich, beginning of Kata, and it was so fun. That's when I made the Boomer Warlock that I have now. That's a demo lock. That was oh god. I used to off tank on my Warlock because I would pull out my Felguard, send him into a whole group of mobs doing his spinning whirling blade attack, and then I would hit life tap. And back then, life tap wasn't like you tap the life off one mob. It was like you would get anyone around you that was aggroed. And so I would just clear whole rooms. I would just and if I was in a guild run, people were like, that's really cool. But if I was in a group run, like just rando pugs, not so much. They didn't like it so much. Anyway, let me go ahead and let you guys go. I'm going to go downstairs, and we're having a new type of pizza that Joseph bought. Who's texting me? Why is Eric saying ugh? Oh, because I sent him a message when everything crashed earlier and said internet crash. Yeah, it's like almost 7 o'clock, so I've got to go to bed because I have to be up at 2 in the morning. I will see you guys on Monday at 4 o'clock, where we will continue our funsies, fails, and shenanigans, as long as it's not internet fails. Hopefully no more internet fails. But in the meantime, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and remember, Hoppy loves you, and so do I. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys then. Bye!